Hello guys, welcome back to my After Effects tutorial channel. This is Rhandz from Rhandz Graphix, and in this tutorial we will be creating this.
Create a new composition, name it placeholder 1. 3840 by 2160, 6 seconds duration, 30 frames per second. Click OK. Then I will open this image folder. I will drop down this image into the timeline. Press this on my keyboard for the scale. I'll just scale it down. Then go to composition, create a new composition, name it parallax 1. 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second and 6 seconds duration. Click OK. Drop down the placeholder 1 to the timeline. I will press Ctrl D on my keyboard to duplicate it. Then I will disable first the visibility of this placeholder below. Then go to Shape tool and double click this to create the mask. I'm using ellipse tool. Change this add to subtract. Change the code color here to cyan and open the mask one and change the mask feather to 60. Then if you will click this shape, you will see that the top is 0 and the left is 0. I want it that way, okay? Again, press Ctrl D on your keyboard to duplicate it. Then open the mask. Click the shape here. Change the left value to 100 and the top value to 100. Then the bottom 2160 minus 100 to 060, right? Then the 3840 minus 100, it's 3740. Then I will click OK. And then change the color code here to fuchsia. I will press Ctrl D on my keyboard to duplicate it. Then open the mask again. And click the shape. Change this to 200. And the top I will change this to 200. 2060 minus 100, it's 1960, right? 3740 minus 100, 3640. And then change the code color here to brown. You will do this until such time you will be able to reach 12 compositions, okay? I will just fast track it, guys, because I don't want you to wait for long, okay? Highlight all selected compositions, toggle switches modes in here, enable the 3D layers, press P on my keyboard for the position, then I will change the Z position one by one here. Change this to 200, the next is 400, here I will change this to 600, here I will change this to 800, then 1000. So the increment here is just 200 every composition. I will just fast track it, guys, because I don't want you to wait for long, okay? Then I will highlight it again. Press S on my keyboard for the scale. I will change again the scale value of these placeholders. Start at the bottom. I will change this to 119. And on the second one, I will also scale it up until such time that it will be flush on the placeholder one below. You will do this to all the compositions, okay? I will speed it up again, guys. So as you can see here, guys, that there is still black here. All we have to do is to enable this placeholder. I will highlight it, press S on my keyboard. I want this also scale up to 119. Now go to layer, create a new camera. I'm using 20mm one node camera preset. Click OK. Go to layer again, create a null object. And I want this null object a 3D layer, parent the camera on the null object. Then press P on my keyboard for the position. Create a keyframe by hitting the stopwatch. Then change the Z value here to 305. Then move my playhead to about 1 second. And I will change the Z position to 0. Then move my playhead to about 2 frames. Create a keyframe by hitting this tiny diamond here. Then move my playhead again to 5 seconds and 10 frames. Then I will change the Z position to about 1140. Then I will highlight these keyframes, press F9 to ease it, open the graph editor and highlight the handles. Drag the handles here on the left side. Then go to layer, create a new adjustment layer. Then move this adjustment layer just below the camera. Go to effects and preset, go to distort, add optics compensation. Make sure that your playhead is at the beginning. Change this field of view value to 90. Create a keyframe by hitting the stopwatch. Then move your playhead to about 1 second and change this field of view value to 0. Then make sure that the reverse lens distortion is checked. Then move your playhead to about 4 seconds. Then press U on your keyboard to see the keyframes. Make a keyframe here by hitting this tiny diamond. Then move your playhead to 5 seconds duration. Change this field view value to 90. Then highlight all these keyframes. Then press F9 to ease it. Then enable the 3D layer in here. Let's preview it. Now go back to your project panel, open these other elements folder, open the footage, and I will drop down these parallax elements into the timeline just below the camera. Then I will right away pre-compose it and I will name it parallax 1 elements. Move all the attributes into the new composition, click OK. So as you can see that the elements are here now. So this is what we want. I will go back to my project panel and drop down this circle shape 1 into the timeline just above the parallax one and right away pre-compose it and I will name it circle shape 1. Move all the attributes into the new composition and I will click OK. So as you can see, nice, eh? Then enable the 3D layer in here. Go back to project panel and drop down these slow-mo particles into the timeline. Right away pre-compose it and I will just name it slow-mo particles. Move all the attributes into the new composition and click OK. I will also drop down this slow particle start into the timeline. Pre-compose it and I will name it slow particle turbulence start. Move all the attributes into the new composition, click OK. Go to my PNG image, open it up, and I will drop down this dust into the timeline. And then pre-compose it right away, and I will name it dust. Move all the attributes into the new composition, click OK. Now go to composition, create a new composition, and I will name it Hexagon 1. 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second, and 6 seconds duration, click OK. Then I will drop down this hexagon PSD on the timeline. Press S on my keyboard for the scale. I will change the scale to about 25%. Enable the transparency in here and go to Effects and Preset, Stylize, and add CC Repeat Tile. Increase expand up. And expand down. Then expand left. Then expand right. Then go to Effects and Preset. I will add fill on it and I want this color white. Then disable the transparency in here. Now all I have to do is to highlight this one and press my keyboard Ctrl D to duplicate it. Go back to my project panel and open this parallax one. Now I will drop down this hexagon one into the timeline. Go to shape tool and double click it to create a mask. Change the add to subtract and open the mask. Go to mask feather and increase it just a bit. I will highlight this hexagon one and click this corner here to edit the path. Go to the project panel and drop down these cinema titles into the timeline. Then I will right away pre-compose it. I will name it cinema title. Move all the attributes into the new composition. Click OK. Then I will press P on my keyboard for the position. I will change the X position to 1027. And the Y position, I will change this to 915. So as you can see, it's in here. Now I will make this also a 3D layer. We can also go back to parallax one and move this up a bit. Open this sound effects folder, drop it down to the timeline just below the cinema title. Move your playhead to about 3 seconds and 12 frames. Then press your keyboard open bracket key to move that sound effects layer. Then go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it main 1. 3840 by 1600. Click OK. I will drop down this parallax one into the timeline. As you can see, create a new composition and I will name it cinematic. 3040 by 2160, 30 frames per second and 6 seconds duration. Click OK. Then I will drop down this main one into the timeline. Now you can see it's cinematic, so let's preview it. Now I will create a new folder here and I will name it scene 1. Then I will highlight all these compositions and drag it to my scene 1 folder. Again, I will create a new folder and I will name it scene 2. Then I will open the scene 1 folder. I will highlight these compositions, go to edit and duplicate it. Then I will scroll down my mouse and move these duplicated compositions to my scene 2 folder. Then I will close the scene 1. First I will delete these compositions here. Then I will double click these compositions to open it up. I will just delete these compositions that I'm not gonna be tweaking. Open the project assets, go to image and drop down this image into the timeline. Delete this image, press S on your keyboard, scale it down. Press P on your keyboard for the position and move it up. Then go to your circle shape, delete the circle shape 1. Go to your other elements, go to footage, change this to circle shape 2. Then go to parallax 2. Move it up to have a more space to work at. Highlight all these placeholders, press my keyboard out and hold it. Replace the placeholder 1 by the placeholder 2. Replace the parallax elements by parallax elements 2. Circle shape 1, change it to circle shape 2. Change the hexagon 1 by hexagon 2. And also this slow-mo particles, change it to slow-mo particles 2. And slow particle turbulent start, change it to 2. The dust, change it to 2. I'll just delete this cinema title because I'm not using it on my scene 2. Delete this sound effects too. If we will preview this one, so nice. If you want to edit the part of the mask, all you have to do is to highlight this one, this hexagon 2, press M on your keyboard to see the mask. Then highlight it. Click this to edit the path. So now I will go to composition, create a new composition, and I will name it final. 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second, and the duration I will change this to 12 seconds. Click OK. I will just drop down this final here so that it will be out of the scene 2. Drop down this main 2 compositions into the timeline, close it and open the scene 1. Drop this main one into the timeline. Then highlight this main 2, move your player to about 5 seconds. Press open bracket key to move that layer. Go your player to about 10 seconds. Press T on your keyboard for opacity. Create a keyframe here. Move your player to about 11 seconds. Change this value opacity to 0. Let's preview it. If you want to move the title a bit on the right, all you have to do is to go back to the main one, go back to the parallax one, open it up, highlight the cinema title and press P on your keyboard for the position. Then move your plate here so you can see. Move it on the right side a bit. Go back to your main 2 Open the scene to folder, then change this parallax 1 by parallax 2. Then go to your cinematic 2, open it up, change the main 1 to main 2. Open the final and look at it, it changes already. So let's preview it. So that's it guys, our tutorial is done and I hope that you learned something on it and you enjoy watching this video. And for those people who already subscribe my channel, thank you very much. And for those who are not yet, you can hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, comment, share it to your friends and press the notification bell so that you will be notified to all the videos that I'm gonna be uploading in the future. My thoughts for today guys is that to become creative, expand your vision to any possibilities. Thank you very much guys for watching and see you next time. God bless.